Hello, my name is Kate McMahon. I'm here to share with you some tips and tricks around using a particular resource called the Write and Wipe Alphabet Practice Cards. These are one of the resources that we're recommending to support your pre-kindergarten student moving into kindergarten. It will help support a few important standards, and before we dig into the tool itself, I want to highlight those standards. So a few of the standards that this tool is really going to help you with in terms of helping your child is naming letters, recognizing letter sounds, and intentionally using scribbles and writing to convey meaning. So this tool is going to help you support your child in addressing all three of these key early literacy standards. So what this tool looks like is this. It's called the Write and Wipe Alphabet Practice Cards. What comes with this kit is a card for every letter of the alphabet. They look just like this. You also should have been provided with hopefully some dry erase markers. If not, you can easily find these at any grocery store, Target, office supply store. So the dry erase markers are what you should use here. Make sure your child doesn't use permanent markers or regular markers. They won't wipe off. So what you can do with this card is so much. There are so many opportunities for this. So the first thing that I want to highlight is obviously the picture. The picture for each card is associated specifically with that letter. So you'll see apple is for A. That helps you with that letter sound recognition. So apple starts with the letter A. What sound do we hear at the beginning of apple? Apple, ah. That helps you to help the child identify the right sound to go along with letter A. So we have the picture to help us with the letter. That's important to know, and that's the case for all of the letters. All right, so then what you'll see are, I want to highlight this here, small arrows. And we want to, when we're working with children around writing letters, we want to be very clear with them how we form letters. And we want to use the accurate terms. So when you're talking with your child about tracing this letter A, you want to say, first we start at the top and we go diagonally down. We go diagonally down to the left. Then we go back to the top and we go diagonally down to the right with a long line. Then we go across the middle straight with a short line. You want to talk with them about those specific terms, straight lines, diagonal lines, short line, long line. For the lowercase, we have a short line down and then a curved line all the way around. Use those terms with your child while they're writing. Now what you'll see here is this gives the child an opportunity to practice tracing along a solid line and then across a dotted line again. And then there's this blank space where they can write it without any of those prompts. Now, if your child can't do that quite yet, you could use that dry erase marker and you could make additional dotted lines here in the letter A, in the shape of the letter A, so that they continue to have that scaffolded prompt. So you'll see then we have lowercase a and then we have the word apple. When you're talking about the word apple here, again, if your child is ready, you might sound out some other letters that are in here. What do we hear after the A in apple? A P. Apple. What letter do we know that makes the sound L? Apple. Now the silent E gets a little tricky. You might just skip over that for our pre-K age kids. You want them to hear the sounds in the word. We're not really focused so much on the spelling, just the sounds in the word. So apple. Those are the big sounds you want them to hear. So those are some ways to go about this. Now the other thing that you might do is in this blank space, have the child draw a picture of anything else that comes to mind that starts with the letter A or starts with the sound A. So let's see, what else do we know that starts with the letter A? Ape. An ape starts with the letter A. Could we draw a picture of an ape or a gorilla? That's a pretty common one for kids. And so they might draw a picture here. They might need a little help with that drawing, so feel free to offer that, but also give them the freedom to draw it however they see. A lot of times we actually aren't seeing bodies right now. We're just seeing arms, legs, heads. That's okay. However they're expressing themselves is appropriate. So again, you'll have this for every letter. So the next one, for example, is B. You can see the bat. And so again, this same structure here. There's so much you can do with this. We really encourage you to talk through this with your child, have conversations about how they're making the letters, other words that might start with that letter, and so on. It's a wonderful tool. And we hope that this encourages your child around letters, letter sounds, writing. We want you to encourage them to write all the time. Everything that they write is beautiful and perfect and whole. All right, we hope this is a helpful tool. Thanks so much.